Hello, my name is Amy Richardson, and I am giving my internship presentation. I just finished my internship at the Family Support Center of Ogden. How did I find and arrange my internship? The first step I did was I looked at the list that BYUI has created of recommendations that were in my area. Um, then from that, there was a spreadsheet and I was able to look at what internships were offered in my area. And then from there, I was able to call a few different places that were allowed interns. I called a few different places. Some of them didn't answer, and then some of them weren't accepting interns at that time. When I called the Family Support Center of Ogden, they said that they had openings for interns. I then was able to set up just a phone interview for them to get some of my background information and just to get to know me. When I was ready to start my internship, I had another little orientation meeting with the assistant director where they were able to show me around the building to the different rooms and the different areas where to just get comfortable with this center because I had never been there before. Some of the responsibilities I had at my internship was that I was able to do a lot of admin projects. Some of the admin projects I did was organizing files that needed to be shredded, or they were therapy files. Um, I also was able to enter in a lot of intake forms of new clients that they were receiving or already had. So the employees could look up information and it was easier for them to get a glance at. I also graded surveys. These were from the parenting and youth development classes that they offer. Um, so they could file these away. I also was able to, towards the end of my internship, I was able to research programs in that area that are either being offered or aren't offered so that the Family Support Center of Ogden can then offer those services to the community. And I also did some smaller projects as updating the payroll calendar for the next year. While I was there, I was able to facilitate a youth development class for about 7 to 8 weeks. And in that class, we just taught skills to help children go about learning how to get through tough situations and some tools that they can have um, to make them better. I was able to pick up some donations from other organizations that the Family Support Center of Ogden had reached out to for upcoming events, such as um, the Halloween community party, the gala that they had, and also they also did an open house where people could come in and tour the center to see what it looked like. So that was one of the things that I did as I went about doing my internship. That was one of my responsibilities was to attend the Halloween community party and also the open house. Um, Another thing that I did was I helped get things ready for the parents and the children that came for the youth development and parenting classes. Some of the things were handouts for the children that were in the youth development class. Also with the youth development and parenting classes, they also provide a dinner for the parents and children that come because when they did these classes, they were right around dinner time. So this was another, and the dinner was free and the classes were also free. So this was a very another thing that they offer. How did I benefit the site where I served? I would say that they benefited a lot from me by doing projects that they didn't have time to finish. Um, this non this is a nonprofit organization, so they have very few employees. So having an extra person there to work on stuff was very helpful, especially when they were putting on community events for the families. They were always looking for volunteers. That's another thing that they offer is they look for volunteers and they are willing to have volunteers come and help with these events. Also having me pick up donations would help them so they could keep working on projects that they were doing. And this wasn't an interruption when I really had nothing going on, maybe at that moment, um, to fill some of my time. How did I benefit personally from the experience? I was able to benefit from the experience by learning so much about the Family Sports Center of Ogden. I have lived in the Ogden area my whole life, and I didn't really know that this place existed or even the the services that they have. Um, it was very eye-opening and very insightful, and I felt like it helped me grow to know more and to refer people to the center that maybe are struggling. I benefited by being able to work on different projects that got me out of my comfort zone. I am a very introverted person, and so being told to go to a company to pick up a donation was quite scary for me, but I knew that it would help me in the long run when I do interact with families and children and other adults. I benefited from this experience by getting an idea of what I would like to do in the future and what career path I want to go down in this field. I was able to realize that I wouldn't mind working for a nonprofit organization um, and offering services to the community. This was a very tight knit center. All the employees were very close together and got along really well. I was also able to have confidence in myself that I can do hard things and to have the motivation to keep on going. There were times when I maybe didn't want to do a project or maybe didn't want to do um what they had assigned me to do, but I knew that it would help me be able to learn and to grow and be able to develop skills that I might need to have in the future. The two important coursework connections that I was able to take away from the coursework and my internship was I was able to connect some of these classes back to two different classes that I took. One of them was the family and community relations class. In this class, were able to learn about organizations in the community that would help families. The Family Support Center offers a lot of free services to families, and I think this would be very great for a lot of families to know that they offer different types of parenting classes, such as parenting, youth development, and peer parenting. They also have a crisis nursery where parents can take their children for 2-hour appointments. They also offer workshops to parents and also anyone in the community. And then they hold community events every year. And the community events are usually 2 to 3 events. Um, The second course I was able to connect this to was child and family advocacy. Throughout this class, I was able to learn about ways to advocate for the family. The family unit is so important and crucial to form relationships at such a young age. Um, and so families that are struggling with this might need some more assistance, and the Family Support Center of Ogden is able to offer these services to families that might be struggling mentally, physically, and emotionally, or also just might be in a tough situation. I would recommend this site and experience to other students. I would rec this site it I'd yes, I would recommend this site to other students that live in the Ogden, Utah area just because it was such a good learning experience and finding out more about this center, what this center does for families in the community is just remarkable. I was able to learn so much about what this center does and how families are able to benefit from being able to have these services provided for free. The staff there is very caring and welcoming. They were all great to work with and interact with. Every time I walked in the hall, someone would always say hi and ask how I was doing. Um, they also have a lot of different projects that help connect the internship to other things I have learned in my other classes. I was able to put a lot of tools that I have been given into my internship, learning more about Excel and how to import information into an Excel sheet or just into Word documents. Um, the person I contacted for the center was Madison Still or Maddie. She is the assistant director at the Family Support Center of Ogden. This is her phone number and that's her email. And she was very easy to talk to and was very willing to answer questions that I had when I first started and even during my internship if I didn't know how to do things. She was able to just help me understand. And she also did um weekly interviews to see how things were going. She was fantastic, and I highly recommend for students in the Ogden area that are going into marriage and family studies to do an internship at the Family Support Center of Ogden. Thank you.